everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death.
I remember when I first discovered Nier Automata. I was researching one of my, favorite philosophical subjects when I kept seeing her in every thumbnail. All I could think was, what anime is this total babe from?
今の自分は電脳と擬態で構成された模擬人格なんじゃないか。
So after about another 15-20 minutes of extensive research, I looked it up.
Tears in rain.
Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the god who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
The fighter pass of babes is finally complete.
女の子が好きだっていう理由が一番大きいです。
Okay, so, this guy, Yoko Taro. He makes Suda51 look normal. In 2003, he created the Drakengard series.
Nobody cares!
There were 3 games, each with multiple endings. The 5th ending of the first game led to a spin-off called Nier, which also had multiple endings. The 4th of which led to a sequel, Nier Automata.
It's so complex and cool!
Despite essentially being a spin-off of a spin-off, Nier Automata is the most successful and most incredible entry in the Yokoverse.
You just don't get it because you're not smart enough.
Taking place in the distant future, the game is about a proxy war fought between human-made androids and the machine army of alien invaders.
Robots.
The most elite of these android warriors are the Yorha, and Model Number 2 Type B's supreme intelligence, abilities, and thickness don't just make her the premier android to lead the resistance in her very own game, but also as one of the dopest fighters in Super Smash Bros.
She's the prettiest, right?
Nier Automata, like the whole series it's weirdly part of, is a high-octane action game. The first layer of combat is 2B's direct melee fighting. She has a light attack and a heavy attack that each have their own various alterations and can be assigned to a number of weapons. For this moveset, I'm only using her bare fists and her 2 pearl white katanas, Virtuous Contract, her small sword and main weapon, and Virtuous Treaty, her large claymore. The second layer of combat utilizes the Pod, a small robotic assistant standard issue to all Yorha units. There are 3 pods in the game, each with its own devoted weapon, and they can also be augmented with a secondary function through the use of various pod programs. So like many action game stars, 2B is a combo stacker.
They just got cranked up like a bunch of animals and beat the Christ out of each other.
This arguably makes her the most overwhelming fighter in Smash, but that's easily balanced by the varying degrees of start and end lag that many of her moves suffer from.
I just showing this group of machines all the features.
I set only one rule for myself when designing this moveset. Only use source material from Nier Automata. No Soul Calibur. What's the point of making a fighting game moveset if it's nearly identical to another fighting game? Well, unless you're these guys. But that's different.
Strange job beating people up.
Check it out.
2B is
beautiful.
pure white, battle-ready bob cut, pitch black Japanese gothic Lolita miniskirt, thigh-high, high-heeled boots, bigger bust and hips than A2, and big, blue, cat-like anime eyes hidden by a sash that symbolizes Yorha combat unit's blindness to the truth. And her 2 main weapons hovering behind her. 2B is equally interesting in her design as she is stunning. And that's just her basic appearance. Her alts are comprised of the following in-game costumes: Pink Ribbon, Blue Ribbon, Machine Mask, Emil's Mask, White Lotus, one of the Nintendo Switch exclusive costumes, and the game's best, worst-kept secret, Dress Module! So that's what the B stands for. In Nier Automata, there are large devices cleverly designed from the enemy as broken-down vending machines called access points. These serve as save points, warp points, and in the case of Smash Bros., 2B's stage entrance. She exits an access point, which then... I don't know how to get them off stage. My first thought was they just explode, but what the fuck is this, Aquatine?
Why does your floor make stuff blow up?
I've never understood that.
So a second idea for her entrance is the pod's privacy curtain from the dress module.
Yes, that might be the best thing to do. I don't see how we have a choice.
2B's badass pro boxer fighting stance speaks for itself.
Badass!
After a few seconds of not inputting an attack, she slowly relaxes and brushes the dust off her shoulder.
Second biggest badass.
If the last move she used had a sword, it remains in her possession until sheathing it with those insanely awesome disintegration animations while transitioning into that same relaxed stance. And those sword concealment animations also occur in attacks that contain them in-game.
Totally and completely badass.
For her idle animations, she often either stretches her arms or folds them and acts all serious, but occasionally, she'll suspiciously check her surroundings before dropping her guard and enjoying the breeze. Because she's not just a cold, calculating, heartless robot. Her movement starts with her slow, sexy walk and ends with her high-speed dash. In the game, there's a speed between those, but in Smash, there's only two. In Smash, the jab attack has come in many styles. In action games, the most common attack combo is pressing the main attack button multiple times, linking together a chain of moves that you decide when to end. So 2B's jab is based on her small sword light attack, a 6-strike combo whose amount of hits is controllable by the player. You know, like most Smash jabs. But this one looks so cool. She catches the sword when it's spinning mid-air.
The sword, you did a sword thing earlier.
Her side tilt is her small sword hold light attack, a sliding world slash. But she remains in place rather than being propelled forward. For her up tilt, she performs her bare fists heavy attack, which is actually a badass spin kick with her shoe feet. And for her down tilt, she executes her bare fists heavy aerial attack by quickly auto-jumping and ground-pounding with a dive punch. I don't know what it is, but I really like this move.
And she looked hot. What about it?
When dashing at full speed, the heavy attack is altered to match up. So 2B's dash attack is her bare fists heavy attack when running. 2B can jump, and she already has a double jump. She already has a double jump.
Badass, 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 badass.
Do you know how hard I usually have to look for a source material based reason for Smash fighters to be able to jump fucking mid-air after fucking jumping? But 2B already has 2 J's. I love her so much. She was just made for Smash.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No?
Lastly, if you hold the jump button, she'll latch onto her pod and glide down. And if you think that sounds too OP, then you clearly haven't played this game, because this thing's horizontal range is dick. 2B is almost as good in the air as she is on the ground, just not in water.
Robots don't drink water!
Her neutral aerial is her bare fists light aerial attack. 2 punches.
That's the same spot!
Her forward aerial is the pod glide kick, a spin kick she can perform once when gliding on her pod. The rest of her aerials are small sword attacks. Her back aerial is the light aerial, another controllable string of attacks. Her down aerial is the heavy aerial, a descending down throw slash with a powerful hitbox upon impact. And her up aerial is the rising attack, a soaring jump slash. When hanging from a ledge, push forward to make 2B get up like normal, push up to do that fancy spin flip when getting to the top of a ladder, and press the button for her ledge attack, the pod throw, in which she quickly lets go of the ledge and catches her pod, which launches her like a torpedo into anyone trying to edgeguard her. For her grab, the pod uses its little metal nippers and present them to 2B like she's gone fishing.
I thought you robots don't drink water.
But it also leaves 2B's hands free for other opportunities, such as her pummel, which is based on her bare fists light attack. This pummel has a maximum of 4 hits, the last of which launches fighters like it was its own forward throw. Her actual forward throw, however, is the small sword hold heavy attack, a very devastating looking thrust. Her back throw, meanwhile, is the small sword heavy attack. I tried to make it another combo style move, but how would that work with the throw? So either she performs the whole thing extra fast, or she only does the third and final strike, the drilling spin slash. Her up throw is her bare fists rising attack, a backwards somersault with a kicking tip, and her down throw is her bare fists hold light attack, an intimidating ground punch. 2B's shield deploys pod program RO70, the M shield. Her shield roll is the evade move, an aggressive shift to the side. In-game, if she dodges a targeted attack, she can counterattack with the pod blaster, but I don't know if that's possible in Smash. And her aerial dodge is her cool, unspecified dodge move.
Are they multiplying over there?
Smash attacks.
You know what I mean?
The most important attacks in Smash.
You know what I mean?
2B's Smash moves are...
Smashing, baby!
They all utilize her large sword, Virtuous Treaty. Her forward smash is the light attack. If she performs it repeatedly uncharged, it has a 4-hit chain. If she charges all the way, she instead performs her hold light attack, a drilling down smash. Her actual down smash, however, is the heavy attack. Again, this can be charged fully for the hold heavy attack, a charged spin slash, or it can be tapped as much as 3 times for a combo. Lastly, her up smash is the rising attack, a spinning rise slash. I had to resist making this her up special because I wanted her smash moves to be large sword attacks and her special moves to be...
Who? That pop dude?
Remember the customizable moves from Smash 4? It would have been perfect for all the pod programs. Her neutral special, for example, could have switched between all 3 pods for their main settings: Gatling gun, laser, or missiles. If I have to pick one, laser is usually the most popular among fans, and it stays out as long as the button is held.
Laser!
Yep.
Her side special is program RO30, the hammer. It's super powerful, but lacks range.
We will crush your skull with our weapons!
Her down special is program RO50, the spear, in which several spear-shaped bolts of energy burst from the ground on both sides. And her up special is program RO40, the blade, in which the pod revolves around 2B for a few seconds and damages anything it touches. And while it doesn't happen in-game, she needs a recovery move in Smash, so this also creates a helicopter effect that whirls her up in the air.
I would like a helicopter flyby.
And finally, her final smash. 2B summons a flight unit, one of those little mini Ava things, and lights up the stage with an endless barrage of attacks. A robot in a robot, kinda like how those segments are a game within a game, and how this game is a spin-off of a spin-off. Games are so big today that I couldn't even make use of all the source material. She still has so many other abilities like heavy sword attacks, other weapons, dual weapon combos, finishing moves, plug-in chips, and a bunch of other pod programs.
Robots are clean, efficient, reliable.
That sounds like propane.
Self-destruct.
Suicide is badass.
If you watch anime, then you're likely familiar with the tsundere, a character that starts off a cold and hostile anti-hero, but gradually warms into a friendlier ally. 2B is one of the most interesting takes on this archetype.
This is one stubborn robot.
A blade of quiet determination, she's typically all business.
I built up a shell.
But her cold and aloof exterior is largely out of necessity.
A cold, calculated, heartless shell.
As a defense mechanism for the horrors of life and the reality of her programming.
I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is, this is crazy, but I'm having feelings.
Deep down, she's actually very kind and caring, prone to letting her emotionless guy slip, especially about her true feelings for 9S and her true role in their relationship.
You remember feelings, right? Yeah, I have feelings every single day of my life.
So, I wanted her personality to be reflected in her taunts and victory animations.
I have been sent from Japan to serve as your personal robot.
For her up taunt, she points her sword and says,
You just die already!
while the pod repeatedly flashes its light, which is the actual in-game taunt move.
Robot, oh my gosh!
For her side taunt, she praises her pod, petting it like it was her pet. And her down taunt is, "What are you doing?" in which she shoos the camera away whenever the player tries to look up her skirt.
So if somebody does try and exploit me, who do I go to about it?
Me?
Her victory animations include saluting and saying,
Glory to mankind.
performing a sword trick and saying,
The honor was mine.
and removing her visor and smiling. There's so many dope ideas for her stage. Actual battle stages based on the fights with Adam and Eve. The city ruins would probably look the nicest, and I even considered her bedroom in the bunker. However, the coolest and most Smash-like stage is probably the theme park roller coaster. Lots of stage ideas, but music.
Okay!
Oh my god, just put all of it. 2B's classic mode is called Spiral of Life and Death. Just like in her own game, she fights machines represented by Mr. Game & Watch, Rob, and Mega Man, before moving on to Ridley, who represents the aliens, Pyra and Mithra, who represent Adam and Eve, not Devil and Popala, Bayonetta, who can either represent A2 or just another Platinum Games action babe, and finally the Master Hand, who is just as weird and philosophical as Nier itself. Finally, 2B's spirits include 9S, A2, 06, Pascal, Emile, and a throwback to the original Nier with Cain.
2B.
Tonight!
In the end, 2B is just another sword fighter, but
She's the prettiest, right?
with Cloud, Sephiroth, Heroes, and fucking Sora in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Square Enix seemed like the most open and willing third-party studio to collaborate with Nintendo on their legendary crossover fighting game. And that actually gives me a lot of hope for my next most wanted fighter, Lara Croft, and my most diligently researched fighter, Yorha Unit 2B. I mean, I had to justify all the sex jokes somehow.
女の子が好きだっていう理由が一番大きいです。
I love robots.
Most of us started Nier Automata for 2B's 2Bs,
We could use them to repopulate the planet or something?
but by the time we finally beat
There
it,
is no meaning to life anymore!
2B is a brilliantly designed character, a potentially awesome Smash fighter, and a grade A top shelf MILF.
She's a robot. She doesn't have the equipment for sex.
But it's probably lifelike, right? I mean,
So if you feel the same as me, smash that like button, leave a comment, sub to the channel, and maybe one day, Sakurai will find his true purpose.
少女型ロボットのご主人様になるというのは男のロマンなんだよ